Welcome back, everybody. My name's A-Predator54, aka Adam, coach of the Machensing Park Slowpokes, and today I bring you my draft analysis for Season 3 of SPC, aka Sky Pillar Championship. Without further ado, we had 110 points to draft 9 to 10 Pokemon. Revival Blessing was banned. But Shedtail is legal, so is Lastry Specs. I believe we have up to 2 items each on the Pokemon, and our team is locked into a Terra type. So we draft a Terra type as well on our roster. So at some point, this draft became an all-out bidding war. I believe I was 5th overall in my division. My wife was in the other division. But without further ado, let's hop into pick number 1. I got Chi-Yu. Alright. At first I got this to be a meme, have a little bit of fun, but overall, for 100 base speed, and it's got 135 special attack, basically like Chandelure. With Dark and Fire Stab, this thing just absolutely has limited switching. When you're doing 50% to fire types that switch in, that's really good. This is an excellent choice Scarfmon. This gets access to Ruination, which halves their HP. So if I know they're going to switch, I can just Ruination, even if I'm Scarf, and then switch the next turn. Or I can run Boots and have this not take any damage from hazards. This also gets access to Flame Charge, Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, Flamethrower, Overheat, Inferno, Psychic, Hex, which is interesting. So if they have a bunch of status, I can run Hex and do double damage, which is incredibly good on something that has access to Will-O-Wisp. Overall, this Mon is absolutely amazing, and I look forward to using this thing. And, not gonna lie, it was worth the value. Round number 2, it came back to me, and I was honestly surprised this made it to me. Especially since it's legal. Shedtail. Base 121 speed with Shedtail, being able to do a 50% sub, especially for a Mon like Chi-Yu, that all it needs is a Flame Charge to get off, or can just fire off 2 flamethrowers to kill a fire type, especially if it's Specs. There's limited switch-ins. Dark Pulse overrides the waters that resist Chi-Yu. The waters that want to hit Chi-Yu get walled by this little thing, and it gets access to regen, so it gains 33% health when it switches, so it can Shedtail, switch out, come back in at 75%. Okay, they never said I couldn't use the move more than once. This also gets access to Knockoff and Rapid Spin, so I have Hazard Removal this early. And it also gets Shift Gear, Dragon Claw, Iron Head, Double Edge, Power Whip, and I believe it had Wild Charge too. Wild Charge is interesting. And I kind of want to see the animation, because I feel like it's just going to get on its wheels and just, which is going to be pretty funny. And pick number 3. This one, I was really surprised made it back to me. Who gets round 3 Scizor? This is normally gone. Granted, this thing lost Knockoff and Roost. It's more offensive now. But still, it gets Close Combat, Sword Stance, access to Pounce, which is a new bug move, Technician boosted, that lowers their speed on switching, And now you have this big blaring bug that's can be middle of the pack speed tier and just be able to hammer things with CC. Sword Stance into Technician Bullet Punch is an absolute nuke, and that terrifies me a little bit. This also gets access to Aerial Ace, Bug Bite, U-Turn, Brick Break to break screens. I believe it gets Defog as well, so more hazard removal. I'll take it. I believe this also gets access to, I believe, Rain Dance, but it does not, and maybe Sunny Day. I know Rain Dance 100%. No, it's Sandstorm it gets access to, which is interesting. So this can set its own rain, which is pretty cool. Scizor with its high attack stat is just a nuke. There's not very many bullet punch switch-ins, and the ones that do come in have to deal with the fact that it can close combat, and yeah, Bug hits pretty hard as well. And here's where it gets interesting. Okay, so this was around the time, the first Terra finally went, and I'm surprised it went, but Terra Flying went. And I'm like, I was kind of looking at that one, because it benefits what I have for the team. And then Steel went. Alright, now my options are gone. So, I decided, hey, why not? Let's get Terra Water. It's going to be funny to see Terra Water Chi-Yu just come in and just nuke a ground type with Terra Blast. Cyclizar now loses its ice and fighting weakness. And that's actually pretty phenomenal. And then you've got Scizor, ×4 weak to fire. Now it resists fire. You're able to get a Sword Stance off. You're able to have a Fat Terra Blast to hit the ground types that would normally wall you. You have BP, you have close combat. You even have access to agility to double your speed. This thing could Terra Blast, Terastallize, agility. Now it can outspeed a lot of things and just hammer. That is so good. And I wish Terra Blast was Technician boosted, but it's not. But that would be wild if it was. Scizor is a phenomenal mon, and I'm glad I was finally able to draft it again. And then we get into round 5. We got Serena. I know what you're thinking. Does the team need this much hazard removal? No. But the fact that this thing gets Rapid Spin and access to Terra Water to remove its Flying, Poison, Ice, and Fire weakness, get off a Rapid Spin. Hits harder than you think it does. Alright, well now it's got Terra Blast to kill that opposing fire type. It can do a heavy chunk to a poison type now with Terra Blast because it's a now neutral hit with its attack stat. This has a way to hit the bulky ground types like unless they're Storm Drain or Water Absorb like Gastrodon, Clodsire, Tatsugiri, you name it. Well, now, if they're not that, this thing can just hammer away and kill them. Majority of the teams out there are running Unaware, but with me being Terra Water, they're going to want to run Water Absorb and Storm Drain. So, that opens the door for Setup Scizor. Now teams have to choose between Unaware or Water Absorb. That and with this thing's grass offense, Gastrodon, Quagsire. They don't switch in. They just die. I can now freely run a Trop Quick or Seed Bomb over Power Whip and not have to worry about dying as much. That and slapping Assault Vest on this thing and be Water type, this is a tank. Like, this thing was tanking Poison type moves and Fire type moves when it was still grass. Now it's Water. That's absolutely amazing. I look forward to using Queen Serena. And now, without further ado, let's get into pick 6. Quackavolt. Why not have Terra Water boosted Aqua Step plus Moxie? Why not? Just get there, set up, everything else. Just gotta be careful of my opponent running Mirror because, like, definitely in a Haluta matchup. I Aqua Step and they get Mirror, now they're double speed at +1 speed. Yeah, not doing that. So I gotta be incredibly careful with this thing, but with the being double power Aqua Steps, there's not very many switch-ins now. And when they do switch in, I've got a speed boost. I still have Close Combat, Brave Bird, Terra Blast. I have Acrobatics if I have no item. I have Bulk Up. I have Sword Stance. I have Rapid Spin and U-Turn. I have more hazard removal. I have 4 at this point. I think I'm good. But this thing with a Moxie boost and it damage spirals, this thing alone just ends games. And it's just terrifying. Like, I have all these physical attackers and this one special attacker. Oh, and with this being Terra Water, this can even be special. Or a mixed attacker to override the things that want to run defensive bulk. Because I believe this even gets access to Water Pulse, Air Slash, and Hurricane. So if Rain goes up, okay, Aqua Step, Hurricane, override the bulky grass type in front of me. Okay, that works. We tried. And now we get into pick 7. Gardevoir. I wanted a special attacker. I noticed that people were drafting Weather. So why not get something that has Rain Dance, Trick Room, Calm Mind, Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave, and Trace. Trace in a Weather matchup can take away Slush Rush, Chlorophyll, Sand Rush, and Swift Swim, which is amazing. Especially with this mon's special attack stat and its Spadef stat, it can just hammer away. And now it has Water Stab with Terra Blast. With its special attack stat, potentially taking, I don't know, can at some point take, let's say it takes Sand Rush or Swift Swim. Well, now it's punching. That's insane. Or if I know I'm facing an incredibly fast team, I can defensive Trick Room and allow mons like Scizor, mid-speed Serena, itself with the Room Service and a weakness policy. Just sounds so yummy. I love Gardevoir. This thing, granted, it's so hard to pilot sometimes, but I love this mon. I wish I had Mega. I so wish I had Mega. But without further ado, let's get into round 8. Gastrodon. Alright. Good Rain Dance setter. Gets Spikes, Stealth Rocks. Lost Toxic. Got a nerf to recover. Now it only has 8 PP max. But this thing also gets Chilling Water, Surf, Hydro Pump, Earth Power, Ancient Power, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Icy Wind for speed control, can become Pure Water, and now it's not ×4 weak to Grass. This comes in with Storm Drain to take advantage of my opponent trying to use my own potential rain or water against me, which is really good. And then Gastrodon kind of hits really hard. That Storm Drain boosted Hydro Pump, especially if it's like in rain at +1. What really wants to take that? And it's Terra Blast boosted. That's insanity. That's basically like having an adaptability boost without having the ability, because it's +1. But yeah, Gastrodon does a lot, and it chews. Being water ground, it chews. Dragon, fighting, poison, all that, chews. And yeah, it can just be a defensive wall and a momentum breaker. That, and I believe it gets Sand Force as well, which is pretty cool, because that boosts its ground moves, ground, rock, and steel moves in sand, which is pretty cool because nobody expects that sometimes. Like, and I have a few things that can set Sandstorm, so I can just pound with ground if I want to. And now we get into round 9. Venomoth! So, now I gave myself a mon that can have a bulky Shed Tail sub, plus Quiver Dance, plus Terra Blast, plus Tinted Lens. And this gets access to Giga Drain. There's not going to be a water type that wants to switch into this because they immediately eat the Giga Drain. You try and answer with a fire type, well, that Giga Drain still hurts, and then it's got to come into a Terra Blast water. Venomoth is going to hopefully put in work. I love using this thing. It's been a while. I haven't used it since BDSP. I have like one sweep with it. And my opponent literally called me and said I was cheating because I was overriding things that would resist. This is special low kicks. And I've been using regular low kicks, like finessing with it. Hopefully I can get this thing going. Being bug and poison, it's neutral to ground. But now it can change its... Well, it's not going to be weak to flying anymore once it's Terra Water. It's not going to be weak to rocks. It's going to be neutral to rock when it's Terra Water, no longer super effective. And it's going to resist fire. That is amazing. On a mon that gets Tinted Lens, access to Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, and Quiver Dance is absolutely amazing, and it's got a decent speed tier. Venomoth can put in work. And I believe it gained Toxic Spikes this gen. And it still has Toxic, which is pretty cool. And I had to end this in style. Good friend of mine couldn't take part in this season, and I had to. Even though it added so much of it like completely ruined my fire weakness and then put me as weak to rock. So now I'm neutral to fire, weak to rock. I had to have it for the homie. Oh wait, sorry. We'll get back to that. I forgot there were 11 rounds. That's on me. Oh, I got Rotom Fan. Okay. And now has Terra Blast to hit things. And it lost Defog this gen, but with Will-O-Wisp and T-Wave, Reflect, Light Screen, Trick to give my opponent a Choice Scarf, or just give him a hindering item like Iron Ball, Immunity to Ground. Rotom Fan's good. But back to what I was talking about the friend that couldn't play this season, I had to end this in fashion. Gert Bilbo could not play because he's in too many leagues, so I decided to use his logo when I drafted this Mon. Ice-Cube, you now have Water Step. You now are no longer weak to fighting, fire, rock, and you can just be the goodest boy with liquidation. After you belly drum. And I'm probably most likely going to have only male ones named Gert Bilbo all season. And if I name them female, that's going to be, have a female one. It's going to be a surprise what the name is. That one's going to be interesting. But the fact that this can belly drum, be behind the bulky sub from Cyclizar, still has its ice face. Alright, now it's not going to get hit by a special hit unless it's south. But it can belly drum without being hit, still have its ice face preserved. Now it's +6 attack. If you break the ice face, well, now it's got 207 speed, which is insane this gen. This gets access to Ice Spear. I can run loaded dice Icicle Spear and hit all 5. That is insane. At +6 attack, just 5 in a row. Gets access to Liquidation and Iron Head. That's all I need. And it gets access to Facade if I ever status. But I believe if the ice face is intact, I can't get burned. See, but I also believe Confusion breaks the face. I'd have to double check that. I gotta make sure it still works the same. But without further ado, that's the team. Tune in next time for SBC content when I take on Stank, coach of the Champaholics. That's gonna be a wild one. I might do a team builder for that one because it's going to be fun. I have not faced somebody with the sheer breaking power his team has. I don't want to spoil anything, but hey, it might be another 1-0 win by a miss or damage roll like it was the last time we played. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and enjoy.